Race cam with Dick Johnson. I'll tell you what, Dick, I bet you're happy you're back at this place.
Well, it's difficult, mate, when you see what happens like that in front of you.
How did you read it?
Oh, I think a bit of over-exuberance.
On whose part?
Oh, that's for you to decide, mate. I'm getting too controversial these days.
Okay. The car's going very strongly?
Yeah, it's not too bad at all.
Now, you guys have been having a few brake problems. Have you cured those this weekend as well?
Yeah, my brakes aren't too bad. But, yeah, it's a tyre, mate, that we have a problem with.
Okay, mate, we'll let you go. We'll talk to you later on.
Okay.
Thanks, Dick. Dick Johnson hard at work, and that's why he's hard at work. He's got Glenn Seaton getting a little bit closer each time around.
As you were talking to Dick, it was evident he was keeping the eyes well and truly on the rear vision mirror, and perhaps a little nervous. We thank Dick for his time. We're looking out of the front of Glenn Seaton's car, and there's the challenge that lies ahead. Dick Johnson, currently placed third on the racetrack. Next time round, it'll be half race distance.
Glenn Seaton really closing in on the back of the Shell Falcon as they come up toward Reed Park once again. This great climb. See how busy the cars are. Moving around the suspension, really driving the wheels off them, these two, as they come across the top. Bow and Rock just ahead of them.
Brad, of the first four cars, two are Dunlops, two are Bridgestones. How are you reading the tyres?
Well, Dick mentioned that he was having a few tyre problems, and the problems he's having is they're blistering towards the end of the race. So, but obviously it's not affecting his speed. He's still going very quick, and he was in the earlier race. John Bow, on the other hand, has gone to a slightly different compound, the Japanese one, and he's not having those blistering problems. But when you consider that the tyres on Dick's car are made in England, the tyres on John's car are made in Japan, there's really not much difference between them. And of course you've got the Bridgestone tried and true product right in the middle of that.
So flat strap down Conrod Straight, 290 k's as they turn in past our camera position there. Seaton not being able to make too much of an impression on Johnson in this opening laps. Forward down will be half distance when they cross the finish line this time around.
Glenn Seaton applying the pressure to the veteran. And back in fifth place, it is Larry Perkins. Neil Crompton, a place further back.
The unfortunate thing about where Wayne Gardner's car is one of the passing opportunities gone.
Take race cam aboard the Castrol Commodore. Larry Perkins currently running in fifth position. It's some pretty quick lap times here. The little guys in front of him, and they've dropped it now, the 2-minute 13-second bracket. Larry's still running 14s that time around, so he's not that far behind them.
Peter Brock is the fastest man on the circuit thus far. And there's Glenn Seaton, Dick Johnson. The two Ford pilots do battle, heading towards the BP cutting.
We saw this just about 6 months ago in the Tui's 1000. Shell Falcon running very closely with the Glenn Seaton Falcon, and that was the point where they touched in the middle of the race. So plenty of competition between these two Ford teams. Has been since the start of the V8 formula. It's only getting more and more intense as the years tick by.
Seaton driving in pain. We mentioned the bad back earlier. Dick Johnson's going to have a crook neck if this continues, keeping his eyes on the rear vision mirror, and all he can see is the Ford credit sign of Seaton. They're heading once again down through the dipper. Conrod Straight lies ahead. Once again, it'll be nothing more than a street drag.
Johnson gets a nice ride over next to the earth bank on the entry, clips the apex for the fastest run he can get out of Conrad. He doesn't want Seaton getting any advantage, and he's still holding good 3 or 4 car lengths on him down the straight. So plenty of horsepower coming out of the two factory Fords. And Seaton just not able to make an inch on Johnson in a straight line.
Oh, that's quick.
Neil Crompton managed to avoid that accident on the first lap. Team chief wasn't quite so lucky though, out of the race. Crompton's still there flying the Coke flag, and he's up in 6th position at the moment behind Perkins. Tony Longhurst and the Castrol Falcon behind him, the first of the pack leader Fords. Alan Jones, the only pack leader Ford on track with teammate Paul Romano's retirement.
We know Tony Longhurst will go the distance in the Castrol EF Falcon. Tony has taken to triathlons to keep the fitness up. There's no problems about him lasting the 3 heats. There's AJ. Alan Jones, one place further back.
Quite a distinctly different note to the pack leader Fords at Mount Panorama. I said they'd do some development work on the engine and the exhaust system. Quite a distinctly different noise. They are making progress with the cars. Meanwhile, we'll take race cam, Sega Holden race cam, aboard the Gibson Motorsport Commodore. Scaife only a little bit further back in the pack than he'd like to be. 9th position. It's behind the pack leader Ford of Alan Jones.
He has dropped back a little bit. I don't know whether he got caught up in the accident somehow and a couple of cars got by him, but he's certainly, right on the money as far as times are concerned.
He's a fabulous driver to watch on race cam. He's so busy in the car. Tremendously fit guy. He actually, I think he was only last into the first corner of this heat. He had a terrible start, but fighting his way back, and he really must be fighting if he's up to 9th position now.
He was saying earlier they have a slightly different engine spec that they're working on at the moment. A bit of a brake lock up there.
Look how hard he's driving it through the S's, Brad. You can see the car sliding there.
Yeah.
Right on the limit of adhesion all the way down the mountain.
Because this is such a horsepower circuit, he was saying they've gone for an engine that's got a lot of top end, and he's having a little bit of trouble getting it off the line. In the first heat, he had to dip the clutch to get the wheels spinning again and almost stalled, and obviously he didn't have much of a better start that time around.
Well, he's closing the gap to Alan Jones. We're monitoring this, just eating away at the back of the pack leader Ford, trying to climb his way further up the tank.
And there's valuable points on the line with the retirement of Craig Lowndes in heat number 2.
Well, that's a critical point, Andy, yeah. And Bow will be very aware of that.
Well, it really throws it wide open. I mean, Craig will be working that one out on the sidelines right now, I should think.
Yes, Craig Lowndes involved in an incident with Wayne Gardner earlier on, and Lowndes was unable to complete a lap. His car, and in fact the driver, stranded halfway up the mountain, and this will be a very long heat for Craig Lowndes. Brad, plenty of time to think.